The books I've written, I've actually had 10 published now. Most of them are teenage thrillers. My first book was Girl Missing. The book that followed that was Blood Ties, which has a sequel coming out later this year, Blood Ransom. And more recently I've written the Medusa series. And I've also written some books for younger children, including Time Train to the Blitz, which is a time travel story about two children who go back in time to the Second World War, to London during the Blitz, and they have to save a boy who is going to, they think that he's going to be killed by a bomb if they don't rescue him. I always wanted to be a writer. From quite a young age. In fact, I was asked that question when I was asked to write about what I wanted to be on my first day of school, and apparently I said I wanted to be a reader when I grew up, and the teacher said that you couldn't be a reader when you grew up. It wasn't a proper job. I did always want to be a writer. However, I didn't think it was something that I could do. I became a journalist for quite a long time, but I didn't start writing fiction properly until quite recently. The way I start writing a new book is to do an awful lot of time daydreaming about the character and the situation. To put someone in a difficult situation basically and think of where they might want to go from that situation, and having done that, start thinking about all the things I can put in their way. Because I think those are the fundamental ingredients of a really good story. How do I stay motivated during the writing process? I don't find that difficult at all. I really don't know why, but I absolutely love writing stories, and it's kind of what I like to do almost as a hobby. So if I have a moment, then I'll think, oh good, I can go back to my book, in much the same way that I might if I was reading something I was really enjoying. Do I think that anybody can be a writer? Well, anybody who can write is a writer. If you mean can anyone be a published writer? I don't know. I think there's a small amount of talent maybe, but it's mostly hard work. So probably. The advice I would give young writers today is very, very simple. I would say read. Reading is the best thing you can do as preparation for writing. It really is. And actually think about why you liked what you were reading. That's brilliant. Following on from that, I would say write, because like anything else, you can only get good at something if you practice it. Boring but true. So read a lot, write a lot, and finally, don't give up. What inspires me to write is really loving stories. I can't really analyse that any more deeply, actually. I discovered that I loved writing stories nearly as much as I loved reading them, and having done that, also discovered that I wasn't as good at it as I needed to be, so decided to work very hard and try and get better. And really my whole motivation is something that I love doing. So yeah, loving stories is what inspires me. I remember loving lots and lots of children's books. I just get hooked into them and lost for days on end. I mean, they inspired me because they gave me such a love of stories, which I still have. I loved the escape of it, the fact that you got caught up in this whole imaginary world and it took you out of your own real life. And that's definitely the sensation I get when I'm writing, and it's something that it's lovely when people tell you they've had that experience reading your books. It really is. I would describe my books by saying that they are predominantly strong stories. That's what I like in a book myself. I like to feel that the story's really going somewhere, and that's what I like to write. There's something hopefully very compelling about the situations the characters find themselves in, and that because they're very committed to finding a solution to whatever problem is in their way, I hope that then gives the reader something to hook into and feel excited by as well. The best things about being a writer are that you get to write books all day, which is just, to me, a really good fun thing to do. There are some other fantastic aspects to it too. I get to go to schools and visit the people who've read my books, and when they come up to me and say that they've enjoyed what I've written, that's really lovely. If I'm really, really honest, one of the best things about being a writer is that I can do what I like all day. So if I don't want to get up in the morning, I don't have to, which is great. I like that. The challenges of being a writer are the discipline, because when you work on your own, you have to be very self-motivated. So the discipline of keeping on going is one challenge, and also the frustration sometimes when you have an idea in your head of how the story should be, and it's tricky getting that down on paper the way you want it. I think my greatest achievement as a writer are in those moments when people come up to me and say, I didn't read books before I read your books, and now I'm really into reading. I feel really passionate about stories and about writing, because it's the thing that I absolutely love to do most, and I feel passionate about encouraging people to understand to get them engaged with stories, to understand how much fun stories can be. I'm really excited to be involved with the Usborne Young Writers Award. I've written a story starter, and so I'm looking forward to seeing all the different entries that are going to come in and reading all of them. That's going to be great fun. And then when the judging process is through, meeting the winner and being able to ask them about why they wrote their story, all that's going to be great fun.